Good morning, happy Monday. I've had a lot of requests for a day of eating video, and I keep meaning to do it, but morning Aaron sucks. I feel like I'm usually really good at working hard and like doing things I don't want to do, but my morning brain is not my brain and refuses to do things sometimes for like the first hour of the day. But finally made myself do it today. I just made breakfast, just waking up, starting off the day with a bagel and cottage cheese. So I have half a cup of cottage cheese and a little bit of hot honey on this, and this is just egg whites and chocolate sauce for a little bit more protein since I didn't have enough with the bagel and cottage cheese. So I will probably talk to you guys a little bit more about my meal plan and what we're doing once I've woken up all the way and we're on to meal 2. But that is what we're starting with. I'll see you later. Alright, so we are headed out for the day. Hopefully you can hear me over the rain. I forgot to charge my microphone, so I don't have this today. But in doing this, like what you eat in a day type video, it was really important to me to pick like a real day and not like a perfect day or a day that I was just at home and could cook every meal. I wanted to pick a day that I was like out and about and show how I make it work when it's harder to make it work. And I see a lot of these videos of creators where they share what they eat in a day, and it's like these perfectly cooked and plated meals that I'm always just curious if they eat like that every day or if they just did that day because they were doing a video, you know? And social media is so full of people only sharing highlights, and I think that just makes people feel bad when they can't do that, thinking that they're supposed to be able to maintain that like every day no matter what, and that's not always realistic. So I chose my busiest day of the week. I have quite a few clients today, my own training. I'm working up like an hour north of where I live, so there's a lot of time in the car. It's a hard day for me to get like perfect meals in, but I'm just going to show you what I do and how I make it work. Fortunately, right now we are doing a meal plan based on macros, so I'm trying to make healthier choices. I kind of was using open shows as an excuse to make bad food choices for a little bit there, and I need to knock that off. So I was ready for a little bit more structure in my meal plan, but throughout the course of the year, we kind of waver between like more lax in terms of like I'll just get like macros to hit for the day, and then there's times that it's really strict where I'm told like exactly what to eat at each time of the day. Right now we're kind of in between, so we're still going based on macros, but I have a macro goal breakdown like per meal instead of for the day overall. So the breakfast that I just showed you guys, the breakfast goal for meal 1 was 500 calories and 50 grams of protein. Those are the only parameters for that meal, and then I can kind of fill that in how I want. And each meal for the day is kind of broken down like that. For most of them, it's just calories and protein. Sometimes I'm given a little bit more specifics, but I kind of have free range to make choices on the food choices myself. But I am trying to be more intentional about making healthier choices because I kind of got lazy about that, admittedly, for a little bit. So, like I said, we're on our way to the gym. I'm going to do a little bit of like programming and watching client videos and stuff like that. So I'll eat again once I get there. While I do that, because that'll end up being like an hour and a half before training. So my meal 2 will be my pre-workout meal. So I will check back in with you guys once we get there. Alright, so I'm at the gym now just doing some computer work before I do my own training. I'm going to train in about an hour and a half, so I'm going to do my pre-workout meal, my meal 2. And I'm just going with like a meal prepped meal today. I am admittedly really bad at meal prepping, so I do get from a service. Muscle Maker Grill is local, they're just down the road from me, so it makes it really easy. And I know that prep services aren't always like financially realistic to use all the time for people, but I do think it is a nice option to keep some on hand for emergencies, like if you don't have time to cook or you get busy or you forgot to grocery shop, stuff like that. It is nice to have some on hand just in case, so that you don't have an excuse to like order food or eat junk. And Muscle Maker is really awesome for me. They have a lot of options. So what I'm looking for meal 2, my like prescribed macros for that meal is 30 grams of protein and 300 calories. So this bowl is really really awesome because it's really close to that. It's a little bit over on the calories. We're at 340 calories and 31 grams of protein, but it's pretty darn close. So I'm going to eat this for my second meal. It's mostly chicken and rice, brown rice, chicken. There's some tomatoes, turkey bacon, some green onions. But for the most part, it's chicken and rice. So it's going to be really easy on my stomach before training. I'm going to give it at least an hour to digest, and then I'll see you back when it's time to start working out. All right, I guess I should probably actually show you the food that I'm eating. So there's the bowl, like I said, mostly chicken and rice, and then there's the macros on it. All right, so I'm just about to start training. There's a few things that I do intra-workout, carbs, creatine, sodium, and amino acids. Unfortunately, right now I am out of amino acids, so I don't have that to take, but my pre-workout does have the creatine and sodium in there. And then I'm gonna do 1 scoop of Carbolin. 1 scoop has 50 grams of protein and 200 calories. So I've got that mixed up, and then I'll just sip on that throughout my workout. It's a really fast digesting, easy on the stomach carb. So I'll drink that kind of throughout the session. All right, so I just got done training. I don't do a full meal immediately after a workout, but I do get a protein shake in and some simple carbs. So right now I'm doing, I've got a core power shake. Sometimes I'll do a powder or kind of whatever. That's a little bit less specific. I just need to get some protein in, shooting for somewhere between 30 and 50 grams. And then for carbs, the meal plan has it listed as 25 to 50 grams of carbs. It kind of depends on how hard the workout was. Today's workout was not very hard, so I'm gonna go on the lower end of that. Rice Krispie treats are my go-to. Each one of these has 17 grams of carbs, so I'll usually do 2 or 3 depending on how hard the workout was. Like I said, today was pretty easy. So I'm gonna do 2 Rice Krispie treats and slam a protein shake, and then we'll get more food in probably an hour and a half. All right, so it's time to eat again. We're back in the car because this is where I spend most of my Mondays. I do house calls these days, so I'm driving around between clients to train them at their homes. And my time management today was not great, and I don't really have time to stop for what I would normally want to do for a meal. So I just kind of had to stop by a gas station and find something that fit the macros. So for this meal, we're shooting for the same macros as meal 2, which was 30 grams of protein and 300 calories. So I just stopped and picked up a Quest bar and these salami cheese sticks. So we did manage to hit the target still, which is the #1 priority. Obviously, this is not a huge volume of food, so I am probably going to be hungry again in an hour, which sucks. But I did it to myself, and feeling hungry is not the worst thing in the world. I've got a couple more clients that I've got to get done before heading home, and then we'll just do a really good dinner later. So I will meet you back at the end of the day for that. All right, and we are back to where we started the video. We're back home for the day. It's about 8:30. I just got finished cooking my dinner. It's the largest meal of the day by far. It's the only meal that I have all of the macros listed out and not just protein and calories. So for dinner, we're shooting for 100 grams of carbs, 50 grams of protein, and 30 grams of fat. So it is quite a large meal. And I like that. I kind of prefer to graze throughout the day and then have a really big meal at the end. People have different opinions on whether that's good or not. I've always told people that the best diet is the one that's sustainable for you. And thankfully, I've been with my nutrition coach for over 3 years now. His name's Spencer. If you want to check him out on Instagram, his handle I think is just Trainer Spencer. He's awesome, and he knows me very well. He knows what I like. There are times of the year that we got to do what we got to do. But there are times that he's really good about, writing me a plan that fits with how I like to eat, so that I don't get too burnt out. So anyways, what we've actually got for dinner, we've got rice, ground beef, some sauteed mushrooms, and Greek yogurt. Since rice is really the only thing in there that has significant carbs, we needed all the carbs to come from the rice. 100 grams of carbs is about 2 cups of rice. So we've got 2 cups of rice, 6 ounces of 93.7 ground beef, about a quarter cup of Greek yogurt on top, and then some sauteed mushrooms. I had a little bit of fat still to fill in after doing all of that, so I just drizzled some olive oil on top of everything. And this is what we got. It's a fairly large meal, which I love. I'll eat this, chill a little bit. I also get to end the day with a couple squares of dark chocolate. That's not on the meal plan. That's the best doctor recommendation I've ever gotten, and I will cling to that with my life because I love to end my day with my couple squares of dark chocolate. So that's a wrap on the day. I'll try to figure out how to like put an image here of my MyFitnessPal diary so you can see like the full macros and everything for the day, because I don't know off the top of my head what like the whole day looks like, but I'll figure out how to put that up there so you can see. And that is a full day of eating. Every day is pretty similar on the macros. I can fill in the food differently if I want. The only difference is that I don't do the intra-workout carbolin on the days that I'm not training. But other than that, all the meals are about the same right now. Once we get into more serious preps, we'll have different meal plans for different days, depending on if it's a rest day or a heavy day or a light day or anything like that. But we're pretty far out from any contests right now, and we're just trying to get back in the habit of making good choices. So let me know if you have any questions. That was a pretty standard day for me. So I'm going to go eat and chill and finally relax. But as always, thank you for being here. Like, share, subscribe, everything. Let me know what else you want to see during deload week, since I'm not going to be sharing my training. And I will see you next time with whatever we end up doing.